Hi, I'm Katie Cianci, and we have Natalie Svela, and we're going to be presenting to you today natural solutions to boost immunity and wellness. So we're excited to bring this to you. Natalie and I both work for healthcare organizations, and so we understand how important it is for people to have the correct information so they can keep themselves well as their families and people that they care about. And so we're really passionate about education. So this webinar is going to be more of an education experience. And I'm also going to be providing at the end an Iris Yoga Nidra session. So you'll get to experience that. So we're going to go through some of these ideas. And if you have any questions, go ahead and put it in the chat because either Natalie or I will be able to respond to you. And if possible, we'll answer your question live. So we're going to get started with boosting your immunity and wellness. And this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about keeping your home healthy and protected from viruses, natural ways you can boost your immunity now. There's a lot of misinformation out there, so we're going to correct a lot of that for you today. For instance, I went outside this morning and I went outside and got some fresh air and walked around my neighborhood. I'm fortunate in that I have a nice, neighborhood, backyard park kind of thing. So get creative, right? We're going to talk about ways you can be creative about how you can boost your immunity naturally. Protect yourself from illness, 5 easy stress relief practices, how to shift out of the panic zone into peace zone, and how 3 tips to help you get better quality sleep. And so Natalie's going to introduce herself.
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Natalie, and I'm a mom. I have a daughter who's 4 years old, Nora. Super fun, energetic, keeps me busy for sure. Also, I'm a registered nurse. I've been a registered nurse for about 7 years now, or a little over 7 years. And so, while I understand there's a place for Western medicine, I too am just super passionate about holistic approaches to maintaining, promoting our health and wellness. And so I'm really just excited to share those with you. I've done a lot of research over the years, and I've actually talked to a lot of holistic doctors. I've done some interviews, and I've learned some tips and tools from them, and then also some research that I've done, and also stuff that I've actually incorporated in my own life. And so, yeah, I'm excited to jump into that and share with you guys. Okay, so we can go over to the, yeah, awesome.
Okay, so hi, I'm Katie Cianci, and I'm a mom. I'm a mom of a 10-year-old son who is with me today. Like many moms, right? We're playing many roles. We already were playing many roles, and now we're playing even more roles since COVID-19, and we're doing the best we can, right? So I'm a holistic psychotherapist. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. So I've worked in hospital before, worked in outpatient setting with people who have, suffer from addiction, depression, anxiety, trauma. So I have a lot of experience working with people who, also who have autoimmune disorders. When I worked in the hospital, I worked with a lot of people who were very ill and how to help promote their health and wellness. I'm also a transformational coach. I'm a certified level 1 Iris Yoga Nidra teacher. So I teach Yoga Nidra. I also teach meditation. I'm very passionate about mindfulness and holistic ways that we can stay healthy, because I truly believe we have everything that we need within us and around us in nature to keep us well. And so we're going to go ahead and have Natalie. She's going to go through it. So you're on, Natalie. It's all yours.
Okay, great. So we're going to talk about what is essential to protect yourself in your home. So some of these things that you see here, you're probably very familiar with. They've been talked about more recently, and it's some of the things are just kind of basic knowledge. But I'm going to just go ahead and review some of these things. So social distancing. They say that it's best to maintain a distance of 6 feet. And usually that's when you're not feeling well, you want to protect others from you. But now they're saying the reason that they're putting it in place now is because what they have found is that people that are a carrier of COVID, they don't necessarily exhibit any symptoms. And so just to protect ourselves and others, that's why they implemented the 6 feet rule of, social distancing. So that's one way that we can protect ourselves. Also, regular hand washing. As we know that regular hand washing helps to prevent the spread of germs. So, washing our hands for at least 20 seconds. A lot of research shows that, there's a big push for antibacterial hand soaps, especially, used in the hospital setting. But I've done a lot of research, and just regular soap and water is just as effective. And why I opt into using more of like the regular or natural stuff is because it doesn't affect our microbiome. So a lot of those antibacterial products, they can actually disrupt our microbiome, excuse me, and which makes us more susceptible to infection, because it's not only killing off the bad, but it's killing off the good. And so I just wanted to, just put that out there. Also, something, right now, I mean, obviously we're doing this social distancing, and we're kind of locked up in our homes, and so quarantined to our homes. So we're not doing a lot of meet and greet with people, but, I just started thinking about it, and we can get creative as we go back to the norm. We can get creative of how we greet people. Instead of handshaking, we can practice like elbow bumping, or even some people like to greet with a namaste. And so it's just a way to prevent the spread of germs. And so, and it's fun, creative, get creative. And then also a way to protect inside the home is having everyone a designated towel that prevents the spread of germs, and especially if we have kids. And so everybody has a designated towel. And then some other things that you can do is practicing or good oral hygiene. So I was doing some research, and actually studies show that if you brush your teeth at least up to 3 times a day, it's actually 3 times a day, that it can lower your risk of respiratory infection by 50%, which is incredible. So practice your hygiene, your oral hygiene. And then also there are things like they say, staying hydrated. So there's a big talk right now about using more of like warm liquids versus cold liquids. But, if you're at least staying hydrated, that's best, because what has been found is that viruses can't live in the stomach due to the acidity. And so, make sure you're staying hydrated. The suggested intake is about half your body's weight in ounces. So if you're 140 pounds, it's best to drink about 70 ounces of water. Also, unless it's contraindicated, okay, by your doctor. So also what has been found is that it helps to maintain your blood pressure. And when you maintain your blood pressure, then your heart can pump, and it circulates that nutrient-rich blood to all of your organs. So drink your water. Also, what has been, what we know is that our immune system originates in the gut. So eating nutrient-rich foods such as whole grains, which are loaded with zinc, and that helps boost your immunity naturally. Bananas that contain vitamin B6, that can help fight off infection. Foods that are high in vitamin A, like sweet potatoes, they actually that's needed. Vitamin A is needed to make enough white blood cells to fight off infection. So it's super important. Also, mushrooms that are high in vitamin D, they actually can help boost our immunity as well. And then another one of my favorites is, just wanted to throw it out there, is that garlic. Garlic is one of nature's most powerful antibiotic and antiviral superfoods. It can actually zap viruses by blocking enzymes that lead to infection. So load up on your garlic. Another thing is that getting plenty of sleep. Katie will go into this more later, but there is a lot of research that shows, getting at least 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep is important and recommended for adults. It helps to lower our stress hormones, it decreases inflammation, and it can boost our immunity. So another thing is that, we hear this all the time, regular exercise. So studies do show that at least 30 minutes a day, whether that's a walk outside, is highly recommended. Some people maybe don't find the time to do 30 minutes. You could break it up in 2 sessions and do 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the afternoon or the evening. But they say that regular exercise can actually boost our feel-good chemicals. and which also helps to improve our immune system and can fight off infections. So, and it also aids in better sleep. So make sure you're getting in your 30 minutes. And then also another very important thing is reducing stress. So stress, as we know, is can lead to a weakened immune system, which then makes us more vulnerable to infection. And so some stress relieving practices that I have found helpful, and also there's like research that supports it, is meditation. I highly, highly recommend. I recently, probably like in the last 3 months, started a regular meditation routine, and it has helped me tremendously. My inflammation has significantly gone down, because last year I was experiencing a lot of inflammation. But yeah, so for somebody who's just starting out, 5 to 10 minutes is great. And it's, again, I mean, really, there's endless benefits to meditation. Also, another thing to relieve stress is connecting with our loved ones. And so I know right now we're in this quarantine state, but, just even reaching out via FaceTime or using the many social platforms that we have, like Facebook Messenger, just getting the connection, it actually can help release those happy hormones. And again, helps boost our immunity. Another thing is that we've heard laughter is the best medicine. So I encourage you, if it's like pop on like your favorite comedian on YouTube and watch that, or just like a favorite comedy of yours, that really, again, is something that releases happy hormones and can boost our immunity naturally. So I encourage you to get laughing, or encourage you to some laughter. So we're going to jump into a couple of other things that you can do to help boost your immunity. One of which is the use of essential oils and CBD. So essential oils are super powerful plant extracts, that can be safely and effectively used to boost immunity. So they can be used aromatically, they can be used topically and internally. Depending on the oil that you use, they can either energize, uplift, calm, detoxify. They restore normal cell function, and they bring our body back to homeostasis. So what I do love too about the essential oils is they can actually penetrate the cell wall, which is where viruses live. And so I'll talk about a few of the essential oils that are really powerful, especially this time of year. So one of them is oregano. Oregano is one of nature, and along with garlic, but it's one of nature's strongest antibiotics. It's also antiviral, making it an incredible essential oil to use this time of year. And it has powerful antioxidant properties. It's an immune booster, and it also is really great with supporting our respiratory system. One of my favorite oils, On Guard. So On Guard is an amazing way to boost your immunity. It has several different oils in it. It's a blend by doTERRA. It has cinnamon, eucalyptus. So anyway, what the studies have shown is that with On Guard, it can actually create like a barrier around the germ, and it prevents it from replicating, like communicating and replicating. So it basically like can neuter the germ, and so it prevents it from spreading. It's powerful. Another one is that we have the tea tree, which is another powerful antibiotic. We have lemon, which is a great detoxifier. It helps to pull all the chemicals. It's like pulls the petrochemicals out of our body. So, taking 1 to 2 drops a day in your water throughout the day, 1 to 2 drops in your water throughout the day is a great way to detoxify. It can also be used in the home. On Guard is another one that they actually can all be used in the home, but there are great recipes out there that you can put together and use them as a cleaning product in your home, and that is non-toxic, to your kids, yourself, and to your pets. So another one is Breathe. Breathe, I love this one so much. I actually use this on Nora in times when she's had like a cough or congestion. This can be applied to the bottom of the feet, also on the chest, and it actually gives pretty instant relief, especially when it's inhaled. So it's something that I love. I have a few friends that are using it currently with their kids, and they have great things to say about it. So, and then another one is peppermint. I love peppermint. It's great for reducing fever. And I actually opt in for this versus like ibuprofen or Tylenol. And the reason is because when you use over-the-counter medications like Tylenol and ibuprofen for fever, it actually can reduce the fever so much so that it's not allowing our body to, fight off the infection. And so what's great about peppermint is that it actually can lower lower the fever just enough to where you're maintaining a little bit of a fever to help the body, fight off the infection. So again, it's a powerful essential oil to have. So another thing is, why I love the essential oils.
Natalie, I just have a quick thing to ask you.
Yeah.
Because I think it'd be helpful for people to know, how do they use the essential oils? I know you said internally, but is there a particular way that it would be best for them to use it at this time?
So yes. Okay. So internally, there's great ways. You can either put it in a capsule. There's also, you can use it underneath your tongue, as well as, like I had mentioned, you can apply it to the bottom of your feet is really helpful. So when applying it to the skin, though, we need to be mindful because some of these oils are a little bit hotter. So your oregano, your On Guard, peppermint, and breathe. It's ideal to use a carrier oil. That way that it doesn't, it's not hot on the skin. So it kind of helps neutralize the oil. And the reason that the bottom of the feet are so amazing is that it's like your natural IV. So there's like thousands of pores on the bottom of our feet. And so it's a great way for us to get it into our system within, it's in all of our cells within 20 minutes of application. So super powerful. But yeah, the capsules, there's veggie capsules you can put it in. And then also, I like to use the On Guard just directly underneath my tongue. I use it, morning and night. But like something like oregano or lemon can be used in your water, but like, oregano, lemon, those type of things, you could put it in a capsule. And so did that answer your question, Katie? And I don't know if that's helpful for anyone here. If you have any other questions too, feel free to put it in the chat.
Yeah, that's great. And then I think you're going to go forward. Thank you.
Yeah. So forgive me, you guys, I get like excited and I start like rattling off all this stuff. And so please feel free to jump in and ask questions. As Katie mentioned, this is really kind of my second time ever attempting this. And so, I get a little I get to going. So, anyway, kind of going back to it, the reasons I love the essential oils so much is that they are highly effective and they're highly intelligent. And so they support our body. They basically, they know where to go and they know what to do in supporting our system. And also they have very little really no side effects. I mean, I don't want to say none at all, because some people have found that they've gotten like a little rash or maybe, an outbreak, like a mild outbreak. And oftentimes what's happening, if you're using high quality essential oils like doTERRA, there's also Young Living. But the reason that you're having like some kind of reaction is that your body's trying to purge out toxins. So, we have a lot of toxins in our body due to environmental, the water we drink, the food we eat. And so oftentimes when you're, introducing these essential oils, because they're so powerful, they can actually, sometimes people have found they have a little bit of a reaction, and that's just your body trying to get rid of the toxins. And so it doesn't mean that you're not able to use it. It actually means that you should probably just do less, and then you could do less more often, and just try and get your body used to the oils. It actually happened to me. And anyway, as I did more research, I found out why. So also, again, making sure that you're using your carrier oils with any of those hotter oils. So it's super important. Again, it will neutralize those hotter oils so that it's not so sensitive to the skin. And then I'm gonna just lastly talk about CBD. Okay, so I don't know, is there anybody here that has heard of CBD or currently using CBD? I just want to give a moment if anybody wants to answer. Okay. Okay. So Katie, wonderful. So maybe you can share a little bit later about your experience with CBD. I've heard of that, never used it. Okay, great, Susan. Thank you so much. So I'm so super excited about this because it is another incredible natural solution to boosting our immunity. It also can reduce inflammation. It eases tension and pain. It reduces anxiety and stress and can bring our body back to homeostasis. So this is like fairly new to me, but I've been doing a lot of research, and so I'm super excited to get in and start applying or start using CBD in my own life. But there's been a lot of research that supports CBD and helping those that have autoimmune disease. So it supports those that have autoimmune disease like MS, lupus, Crohn's disease, diabetes. It's also great for depression, ADHD, symptoms associated with autism. It helps with seizure disorders and like so much more. So this is something that I'm going to be talking more about. Oh my gosh, yes, endless benefits. Thank you, Christina. So I'm so excited to like get in and share more about this with you guys. And I'm actually towards the end of this, I'll be posting a link. It's a Calendly link that you can schedule a wellness consultation with me, because I would love to dive in deeper with you guys. And I can recommend packages for you that will help support you and your family during this time and forever. So anyway, I thank you all for listening, and I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you, Katie.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to look and see how I can get me back on here. So I don't know if you can see me all. So yeah, for some reason, I don't know if everyone can see. Can you see me?
I see you.
Oh, you see me?
I do.
Okay, you see me? Okay, I see you. I'm just gonna put both of us on here. So can we see each other? Okay, yes. Okay, good. Okay, so all right, I'm just gonna put both of us on there. I think we're both talking. I'm still learning how to do this thing. So so I'm going to talk. Thank you so much, Natalie. I love essential oils too. I use them. I've used CBD oil before for myself and my mom who has Alzheimer's. I'm sad that I'm not able to let her use it in the facility that she's in right now, because they're super strict on that for some reason. There's really no reason for that. So, but they used to say she couldn't use essential oils, and now they say that she can. So go figure, right? It's just, we get to like move through this. This is all natural stuff. And the CBD oil that I really like to use is Navon, the brand Navon. It's new, it's brand new. And there's 0 THC, which I'm super excited about, because then we don't have to worry about psychoactive concerns that some people have. So I love it. I'm going to be talking more about it because I've seen a huge shift with a lot of people that I've worked with addiction. When they used it, it helped with their anxiety and their stress. And people who have PTSD, there's tons of research that shows that CBD oil is really effective with managing those symptoms. So I'm going to be talking more and more about it because I love it, and it's all natural, and you don't have to worry about major side effects or overdosing on it. So, but we'll get into more stuff too, which is I'm going to talk about mindfulness. So mindfulness is, or first talk about sleep, I guess. So we're going to talk about sleep, which mindfulness is a part of it. Being mindful of our routine, right? What we do before we sleep. So having a routine, going to bed on time and a regular time. You know how your mom or dad used to say, "Okay, it's time for bed. It's your bedtime." It's keeping you on that routine so that you get quality sleep. Because when we get off of our bedtime routine, what happens is it mixes with or messes up our circadian rhythm, which doesn't allow us to have that good quality sleep that we need. So if you're staying up really, really late, a lot of times that's what they call it's a graveyard shift, when people work late at night because their circadian rhythms are off. And so it opens you up to immunity issues like chronic health conditions, all kinds of things, depression, anxiety. So if you are somebody who can't avoid working like a night shift or something like that, or you have someone you love or care about who's working a night shift, there's some things they can do to kind of help them get quality sleep. I'm going to be talking about some of those things, also like meditation, mindfulness, yoga. All those things can really help get better quality sleep. So it minimizes the risk that you can have from being off of your, with your circadian rhythms being off. Having a ritual, a gratitude list. I usually do like, what are 3 things I'm grateful for before I go to bed, and then when I wake up in the morning. And then lately, with what's going on with COVID-19, since there is, I mean, this is a serious thing. I mean, I'm not going to minimize it. It's really is. I'm not an alarmist, but I have to say, like, this is a crisis for a lot of people, and it's affecting people's sleep. It's affecting their routines. It's affecting everything. And so, if we're mindful of that, it's important to not to like say nothing bad is happening, because it is. There are people dying. Let's just be real. People are dying. There's a lot of fear around this, and not to get stuck in the fear, but just to be aware of it and to honor that we have those feelings and we have those emotions, and the reality of what is happening. And then also being able to shift into gratitude. What can you be grateful for? And I've been doing that throughout the day. Just even like just mindful moments of gratitude that has helped me. So when I go to bed, have been practicing all day long when I have just these little moments, so that when I go to bed at night, I'm more focused on what I'm grateful for. And that's helped a lot. Getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep is ideal. A relaxing environment. So if you have any like cozy blankets, or you have the lighting, I like to use a Himalayan salt lamp to kind of help make the mood really nice. And there's some ions that my son likes to use a fan. It's like that white noise, and he has some like ions that are released through the fan. So whatever it is that is relaxing for you, keeping the cell phone away, electronics. I still have not been able to get that for some reason. I've got to have my cell phone near my room, so I get to work on that. But that's a goal, is to get the cell phone away, and at least an hour or 2 hours before screen time, or no screen time before bed, because it can help clear your mind and get your body ready for sleep. So if you're not sleeping well and you have those things that are, you're still using those practices, you can, try to get, read before you go to bed, or do something else rather than being on the screen. And that should help a lot. And then of course, exercise. Natalie talked about that, getting outdoors in nature. So important. There's so much evidence that shows that your mood can improve just being out in nature. In fact, 5 days of 30 minutes of outdoor activity outside in nature is equivalent, 5 days a week, 30 minutes minimum, is equivalent to a mild dose of antidepressant. So if you're feeling depressed, just go outside, even if it's for 30 minutes. If you can't walk in your neighborhood for whatever reason, go outside and just experience the fresh air, and get some fresh air in you. Okay, so we're going to talk about mindfulness. So do any of you, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever heard of mindfulness, or have you ever practiced mindfulness before? I'd love to hear from you in the chat. If you can write, yes, I've done it before, or I don't know what it is. What do we say here? Nope. Okay, Susan, actually you have done some mindfulness. But you probably don't know it, right? But yeah, okay, so nope, I practice mindfulness all the time. Christina? Yeah, it's awesome. Anyone else on here want to share if you've done it? Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of that today. I'll teach you a little bit. So it's basically non-judgmental awareness in the present moment. So our minds are, let's see what else it says. It's changed your life. Yes. Yes. It's changed my life too. Yeah. And I'll share just quickly a little bit about what got me into mindfulness. So I was in grad school, getting my master's in social work, and it was pretty stressful because I was a new mom. I had a toddler at home, going to school. I was working part-time as a recruiter. I was working in HR. So I was, wearing a lot of hats, right? And I had a lot of test anxiety. And I remember I started to actually have physical sensations where my leg went numb. So my leg went completely numb. I couldn't walk. I was working in an inpatient psychiatric unit, and that's not a good place to not be able to walk in case something happens, right? You got to be able to be on your feet and run around. So I started to practice mindfulness. I went to my first silent retreat, mindfulness, and that was one of the hardest things I ever did, but one of the most beneficial experiences I had, because I'd never really taken the time to notice what's going on in my head. I'd never even thought about it. It was always just, I was going on autopilot. And I realized I had a lot of negative thoughts about myself, about other people, and this is normal. We're human beings. We're going to think negative thoughts. I mean, you can't say, like, I love the positive psychology movement, but the reality is we're going to have negative thoughts. They're going to come in, and not judging yourself and saying, okay, I notice I have a negative thought coming in. That's a negative thought. Okay. And then letting it float away. And notice if you're focusing too much on it, then you can shift. And I'll show you some practices you can do to shift out of the negative mindset and into a more positive mindset, which is better, but it's really non-judgment. It's like negative or positive. Either one isn't better or not. But the reality is we feel a little better in our body when we're thinking positive, right? It just happens. But it's also being in the present moment. And I'm going to share with you some of the things that you can do, some of the ways that you can have, there's guided meditation. Iris Yoga Nidra is mindfulness because it's guided, so when I do an Iris Yoga Nidra session with somebody, I'm guiding them. So I'm going from one, I start from your intention. What is your heartfelt desire? What is your inner resource? What are some things inside you that keep you safe, secure, or an experience that you've had that's helped you stay secure, safe, and at ease? And then I bring you through the breath, noticing your breath, and then what's coming up in your body, any thoughts, emotions, images that come up, and then how to allow those to come in, experience the opposite. So it's that's a way of mindfulness. And I love that practice. It's also an evidence-based practice to help with trauma or PTSD or stress. So that's one of my favorites because I teach it. So I love it. I mean, I wouldn't have gotten trained in it if I wasn't passionate about it. So silent meditation, this is where you sit in silence. And this is a great opportunity if you are living in a home where you have opportunities for silence. You can practice it, or with your kids, even if it's for 5 minutes, just sitting in silence and noticing what comes up, and then practicing not judging yourself. So mindfulness is a practice. It's not something that, all of a sudden you become mindful and you don't have any judgment. It takes practice, but it certainly does help you enjoy life more. Sensory. So your 5 senses. Your 5 senses are, what do you see, hear, taste, feel, and what's the other one? I'm blanking on the other one. There's another one. Anyway, 5 senses. It's like experiencing everything when you're I love doing this when I'm outdoors. So when you're outside in nature, 5 things you hear, 5 things you taste, like tasting the air. You feel, you're putting your feet in the ground, in the grass, those are great things, but you can do it at home too. You can just use tactical, right? Just sensory, sounds, music, listening to music. You can also do it while you're washing your dishes. If you don't like washing dishes, try mindfulness. You might actually like feeling the warm water, especially since we're all washing our hands a lot. We can soap up and like really be mindful, and maybe get some good smelling soap that you can smell, and make it fun. Enjoy it. I love to do it when I'm like washing my face. I have this like amazing stuff I use, so I use that. A walking movement meditation. That's or mindfulness. It's when you're walking, slowly walking and noticing your feet touching the ground. um, yoga is a mindfulness practice, because you're in certain positions and you're being mindful of where your body is, how your body is responding, and how you're placing your body. Dance. Does anyone like to dance? I love to dance. Dancing is mindful, right? And non-judgmental, moving your body. I love to move my body and not think about what other people are thinking. Especially your home, you can just put some music on and just dance. Just dance and enjoy your body and feeling it. And do it with if you've got kids at home, do it with your kids. If you have a partner or spouse, or you got, even your cat or your dog, just go for it, right? Like, just have some fun with it, because, we need this. We need this stuff to keep ourselves centered and grounded, and, experiencing some sort of joy in a really difficult time. Also eating mindful eating. That's another one where you can really take try mindfully eating, like just taking small, bites, and like really savoring the food. It really helps enjoy the experience of eating a meal, and like you smell it, you experience it, and that also can help with weight loss as well, because you're paying attention to the food that you're eating. Okay, so now, let's see if we have any questions here. We've got okay, yeah. So Christina was saying that, wow, that's being present in peace. Yes, peace is so important. It can help you. Mindfulness can help you get into peace, which is perfect, because when we're talking about that, the peace zone versus the panic zone. So I love this research study that was done by Dr. Daniel Siegel. He's one of the experts in, this topic, which is, and then we also have another one, which is Peter Levine, who's the creator of somatic experiencing therapy. And so what they found in the research is they showed that people, when there's a distressing event or a triggering event, such as COVID, or any other type of, distressing event, what happens is that our bodies get activated, right? So we get into this stuck in either the high hyperarousal, or we get stuck in the hypoarousal. So we're either on the high or the low. So we're in the low, we can feel depressed, disconnected. That's where we want to isolate and we don't want to be around other people. Exhaustion, fatigue, numbness, numbness in your fingers and your toes or anywhere else on your body. That's what we call the freeze zone. So your sympathetic nervous system gets activated. This is your fight, flight, or freeze response. So the freeze is important to mention, because a lot of people don't know about the freeze. They know about the fight or flight, but the freeze can happen, and that's where you get in kind of that hypoarousal, no motivation. You just felt kind of blah, right? You're in that low zone. If you respond in a fight or flight, you're going to be more in the hyperarousal, right? So you're going to be hyperactive, hypervigilant, some mania where everything is great, and maybe you're buying everything. Well, I guess you can't buy anything off of Amazon right now, but you can you're buying a bunch of stuff and you're not really thinking about it, or you're acting really aggressive and angry. Your anxiety is high, you're irritable, you have this rage that comes out. Those are things that can be in the hyperarousal. Or you're becoming paranoid, right? You're paranoid about something happening or something might happen. That's being like hypervigilant. And so what happens is you can be in these highs and these lows. So sometimes people are diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and in some cases that is the case. But oftentimes, some people say, "Oh, I'm bipolar." Really, what it is for a lot of people, especially when there's a distressing event, is you're really just your anxiety, is your stress response has been activated. So you're having these highs and these lows, and it's hard to manage it, right? It's like you're on a roller coaster all the time. Like one day to the next, you don't know what's going to happen. And that you could be seeing that in your kids or people close to you because they don't know how to manage these emotions that are coming up and how their body is responding. You don't also know, I want to share this with you, if you've had any trauma, any kind of trauma in your past, it's going to get activated right now because this is a time of uncertainty. So unless you have the tools to help you manage this, it's going to be difficult. And so I'm just sharing that with you, and I want to share with you, some of these. That's why we're talking about this right now, like tools that you can use: essential oils, breathing, going outside in nature, dancing, moving your body. That all gets you into the what I call the peace zone. But in this research, it calls a resilient zone, which is so you can bounce back quickly after or even during a crisis or during a distressing event. Also, you can't choose if you're going to fight, flight, or freeze when there's a traumatic event that happens. That's a misnomer. So some people think, oh, well, when this happens, I'm going to do this. You don't have a choice. Your body decides for you. And so, but you can bring yourself into a resilient zone or a peace zone. And I'm going to show you how you can do that, where you start to activate your parasympathetic nervous system. And that's where it starts to calm your nervous system down so that you're not on these highs and these lows. So it's something that you can manage. So I kind of talked a little bit about that. So one of the things you can do is mindfulness. So we talked about what mindfulness is. I'm going to do a brief Iris Yoga Nidra session with you guys, if you're open to that. So you can experience, because Iris Yoga Nidra includes all of these experiences: the mindfulness, the grounding, the self-soothing, deep, slow breaths, awareness, and new choices, all in one session. So that's what I love so much about it. So are you guys up for it? You want to try? If any of you guys are driving, oh, we've only got 4 people left. Okay. Anyone want to try? Anyone? Okay, raise your hand if you're ready, or say yes. Yes, I want to do it. I want to do it. So I know who's up for it. Yes, Susan's up for it. Anyone else? Jennifer? All right. Okay. So we're going to do this. It's going to be fun. So you can take a seat, just sit down. This is like less than 10 minutes, like maybe 6 minutes. So it's going to be great. Okay, so get in a comfortable position. You can lie down. This is one where you can lie down if you want. Get your little cozy blanket. You can sit down, or you can sit up wherever you're at. And so let's see, I'm going to just move this to this one so it's a nicer slide. Okay, so allow yourself to settle in to a comfortable resting position. And with your eyes open or closed, welcome the environment and sounds around you. The touch of air on your skin. Sensations where your body touches the surface that's supporting it. Your entire body and mind are settling into feeling at rest and at ease. And recall your heart's deepest desire, longing, or mission, perhaps for health, healing, or awakening. Affirm an intention that supports you in realizing your heartfelt desire during this practice or in your daily life. And welcome in your inner resource, an inner felt sense of ease, security, and well-being in this and every moment. Welcome sensations in your jaw, mouth, ears, eyes, forehead, and scalp. Head, neck, and shoulders. Arms, palms and fingers. Torso and pelvis. Hips, legs, and feet. Your entire body as a field of radiant sensation. And welcoming your experience just as it is, while affirming to yourself, I am aware and at ease, secure, safe, and grounded. And welcome your body breathing, the sensation of your abdomen expanding and relaxing with each breath as you inhale and as you exhale. Allowing the body to breathe itself and feel a felt sense of your inner resource, a place or experience or person, sense of peace, ease, and well-being with each breath. And notice and welcome emotions and thoughts that are present in your body and mind without trying to change them or experience anything other than it's just as it is, perfect, just the way it is. And if helpful, welcome opposites of these emotions and thoughts and actions that can help you feel in harmony with yourself and the world around you. So welcome feelings of ease and well-being throughout your entire body, and joy of simply being. Perhaps notice an inner smile that's radiating from your heart center, through your entire body and emanating out to the world around you. Imagine going about your daily life, all the while awake and aware, an awareness in which all of life is unfolding. Awareness and awake of itself. And as you're ready, open and close your eyes several times while welcoming in your inner resource of feeling grounded and connected to yourself and the world around you. Feeling secure and at ease. And when you're ready, come back, opening your eyes fully, wide awake, to an alert state of mind and body, and allowing the feeling of well-being to remain with you and move back now into your daily life. So how was that? How was that for you? Anyone want to share? If you're awake. Did you notice anything, Natalie?
Oh, oh yeah. There was moments when I felt like I was starting to like, am I falling asleep here?
Yeah. Susan says feels so relaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Susan was one of my main students. He came
Yeah.
to all my sessions.
It's a powerful practice for sure.
Yeah, and that was yeah, not even 10 minutes. So, yeah, great. Jennifer. Yeah, awesome, huh? Ladies, thank you. That was great. Well, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So, that's just like one example. Another one I'm going to teach you, because we have a few more minutes, is the squeegee breath. So now you guys are all probably feeling super relaxed right now. But the other one you can do, this is fun to do with your kids. So if things are getting like really, or your spouse is, or your partner or anybody, even when you're driving and somebody cuts you off, you could totally do this. And it's the squeegee breath. So it's like, you know, when they squeegee off windows, you use a squeegee. And so you're letting go of all of like the negative thoughts or anything that's really like upsetting you or anything happening in your body that you want to like let go. And so we take a deep breath in, and then we smile at the top, like really goofy, and hold it. And then we squeegee it all out. So you do that like really goofy smile. So we're going to do it again. So taking a big breath in and smile really goofy. And then exhaling out. You just let it out. Kids love it. So when they're like getting on your nerves or something, you just do that and it's just like instant. So that's fun. It's a fun one. So what we want to do for optimal wellness is we want our mind to be loving, compassionate, kind, healthy, non-judgmental, ideally. So it's a practice, which means it's great when you have people that you can practice with. And when you do have those thoughts come up or you have the negative mindset that's holding you back, you have, you know, people that can support you with that. It really helps because we really can't, I mean, we could do it alone, but it's not really as much fun as when you have a group of, you know, people that can support you. Your mind and your body and your mind go together. They're not separate. None of these are separate. They all go together. Your mind, your body, your spirit. So keeping yourself active and taking care of your body, nourishing your body, and our spirit. So spirit can, if some of you have a spiritual practice, not necessarily religion, a spiritual practice can be, you know, some people for Christian, they like to read the Bible, and I like to read the Bible. I also like to, you know, I also like to read affirmations or say affirmations for myself, like I am loving, I am connected, I am powerful. Like just creating I am statements for yourself to kind of help boost your spirit. Prayer is great, meditation, mindfulness, being in nature, anything that really, art, creativity. That's another one that can really boost your spirit. Singing, you know, I've seen some people like around, like I guess there was a university recently that just all of their students got online and sent out, they were all singing. And it was a music school. And I was like, yes, this is great. Anything that kind of helps boost your spirit. All of these things help with optimal wellness. And so I'm going to end with almost end, but I'm going to end with this. The present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you're attentive, you will see it. And so if you take the moment to focus, your mind will focus on what you focus on. So if you can focus on, you know, the present moment and being filled with joy and happiness, those little moments, it will make all the difference. So the next thing I'm going to share with you is, we have just a couple more people. If you don't mind, I want to share with you really, I'll just briefly share with you. I have a program that I'm offering, and this is coming because I've had a lot of moms share with me that they're really struggling with their being at home and managing all this stuff, and they're feeling a lot of stress, and they want to teach their kids also how to manage their stress. They want to manage themselves, but they also want a community of people that they can connect with. So I'm going to also offer the same program for others. Right now, I feel like moms are really needing it right now. So I'm offering a Peace Zone solution, which is a 6-week access to me for support in a private group. And I'm going to be offering the iRest Yoga Nidra sessions. I'm going to be offering 35-minute sessions along with support and other meditations. So self-compassion, mindfulness meditations, a live connection session every week on Wednesday mornings, as well as a Peace Zone workbook that helps give you daily practices so you can stay in the Peace Zone, and then one resilience coaching session with me. And so it values over $1,300, and I'm going to be offering it for $397. And I have a link. I think the link says $497 and so if any of you are interested, I know right now there's some people on here. There's 3 people. You can send a message and let me know, and I'll send you a specific link for the $397 so that you can get on that. So this is, I'm really excited to be offering this. It's going to be starting on April 6th, but if you join from this webinar, I will add another resilience coaching session that you can start now before then, and we can start it now. And then I'm going to also be opening up the group early for people to join and provide support, and I'll be offering sessions. So 1 week early. Officially, we're going to start the 6-week series because it's progressive. So you learn like the basics of iRest Yoga Nidra, mindfulness, and then you practice it over time. So you'll see a huge shift and transformation after the 6 weeks. So I'm really excited to be offering this. And also, if you want to join, I have a Love Seed Tribe, which just started. And I'm going to also be giving generously in that. And that's a group that's free. So I love you all. Do you have any questions before we end? Does anyone have any questions? And Natalie, can you drop your link in here too for people who want to use the, contact you for Calendly link?
Yes, I'll do that.
And so if some of you are feeling, I'd love to hear from you. We're going to have another one of another webinar coming up too. So, but feel free to, ask any questions, send any, if you want to send a private message or anything to us. Yeah, I know that I want to just share with you. I know that a lot of people are feeling stressed right now, and I really want you to know that if you practice, what we shared today, you're going to see a huge shift in how you respond to this crisis, but in life in general. I mean, these skills are things that you can teach your kids, you can experience for yourself. And no matter what happens in your life, you're going to be able to work through it because you're going to have these tools. You're going to have everything that you need to manage life, because we never know what's going to happen. And to be able to have these tools, I'm so grateful for all the training that I've received, and the people and the teachers that I've had who have helped me get through some of the most challenging times. I've had trauma in my life. I've had multiple traumas recently, including a death in the family, and it triggered a lot. And I'm so grateful that I have these tools because I was able to bounce back. And not a lot of people have that. And that's why I'm offering this Peace Zone solution, because I want to teach people everything they need in order to move through life's challenges with ease, and be able to support the people they love through it too. So once you learn these skills and these tools, you can help other people experience the same as well. So we'll also be sending out a link to, I want to see everybody who's on here. I'm just going to check and see who's here. Oh, Susan's still here. Susan, hi, Susan. So Susan, well, I'm going to stop recording here for a second. Okay, so we'll stop, and anyone who's wants to reach out to us, you have our information, and we'd love to see you. So thank you for joining us.